State visit by South African leader since independence. Following talks with President Mubarak, he addressed the business gathering, revealing plans for a tripartite free trade agreement between the COMESA, SADC and the East African community to benefit 700 million consumers. Shahira Amin has the details.
The future. It is the next zone of economic growth and development after Asia and Latin America. These words from visiting South African President Jacob Zuma on his very first visit to Cairo, the first official visit by a South African leader since the country gained independence. It is estimated that the market size of the developing world will be larger than the developed world by 2020. It's therefore important for developing nations to trade amongst each other, in addition to trading with the developed North, Zuma told a business gathering on Tuesday in Cairo. The visit by the South African president is aimed at strengthening economic ties between Egypt and South Africa, Africa's two powerhouses.
The state visit of President Zuma is a very significant step forward in the economic as well as, of course, on the political relationship. But we are hoping with this state visit and the fact that there is more than 100 companies coming from South Africa and the reaction of 800 Egyptian companies attending this conference today is a very strong proof that there is a very strong will within the business community on both sides to start a new chapter on the economic cooperation.
Discussions also centered on an ambitious tripartite free trade agreement for the continent, one that would strengthen collaboration between the Common Market for East and Southern Africa, COMESA, of which Egypt is a member, the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, which includes South Africa, and the East African Community, the benefits of which would be a much larger market of 700 million consumers, which will be more attractive to investment and large-scale production.
Egypt is a strategic partner in formulating a strong trading bloc in the continent. Remember, South Africa and Egypt's got a responsibility to ensure that there's regional integration for us to be able to deal with capital outflows that seeks to undermine our own economies. Therefore, it's only these two giants that can be able to defend Africa's economies because of the strength of the two economies.
Details of the tripartite FTA will be ironed out when an Egyptian delegation visits South Africa in February next year. The two countries, meanwhile, are hoping to increase trade and investments between them, which so far remain well below their expectations.
As the two economies have got something in common, we're the two biggest economies in the continent, as you know. We also recognize that we have to go behind the political impetus to work with Egypt. And so we were here and we find that the cultures are not so different, mainly it's the language challenges that we've had, but we've got local Egyptian staff in our offices and we're able to do absolutely good business, we believe.
The visit by President Zuma to Egypt and a 2008 visit by President Hosni Mubarak to South Africa are certain to reinvigorate not just economic ties, but relations in all other spheres, benefiting not just their peoples, but also the continent as a whole. Shahira Amin, Nile International.
Also on the sidelines of South African President Jacob Zuma's visit to Egypt, a new memorandum of understanding was signed with Minister of Oil Sameh Fahmy. The memorandum aims at boosting cooperation in the field of technology transfer and the gold industry. Tagreed Hussein has the details.
Supporting Egypt's partnership with South Africa in the field of oil was translated into a memorandum of understanding that was signed on behalf of Minister of Oil Sameh Fahmy and Mrs. Peters, his South African counterpart. The Memorandum of Understanding asserted cooperation in the field of technology transfer in oil industries as well as in the field of gold industry as well. Our cooperation extends inside and outside of Egypt. Bilateral cooperation in all the energy and oil projects. We can offer more success stories also in the field of gold industry. I invited our South African counterparts to share through their experience in Egyptian gold mines and different excavations here, and that would be a great plus. I'm happy to sign this Memorandum of Understanding as it will further boost our economic cooperation with Egypt in the field of oil, plus, of course, the exchange of expertise that we are looking for. Minister of Electricity Dr. Hassan Younis and the South African Minister of Oil also held talks and agreed on carrying out projects in the energy field.